Hey.
Man, what's good?
Yeah. Some's weird. I guess I can hear you. It's strange that Discord is not picking up my headphones, but it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Okay. Well, I can hear you.
Yeah. I guess everything's normal except... Oh, there we go. I think I figured it out.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right.
So you might hear some wind because it's a bit rainy over here, and I decided to go for a walk. I've been sitting on my ass for the last hour.
Can I hear you now?
I don't know. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I guess it's only doing my speakers today, but I'll leave it as speakers.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's
cat
been
just crossed my path.
A black cat?
Yeah.
In reality, do you actually have a black cat?
No, a black cat just crossed my path. I'm going for a walk right now.
Oh. Yeah, so that's a bad sign.
Oh, I say I don't believe in that shit. Cats are cats.
I think it has to cross your path twice to cancel out.
Ah, I'm not too worried. I have a evil eye if I get hexed or cursed, so I'm good. I don't believe in that shit either. I just think it looks cool.
Do you have a good walking route these days?
I just discovered one actually. So Morningside Park, there's like this sort of like open park where all the Arabs have their barbecues and stuff. But if you go left, you follow the river, and it's just beautiful. And it leads to the University of Toronto's Scarborough campus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's quite nice. And I know that on the campus there's a Starbucks, but the map's completely fucked. So I'm like, I want my fix. So I went into the campus. The students are still there, right? And it's taking me to like the resident area where like they sleep. And I'm like, this isn't right. The doors are locked. Like something's wrong. So I asked them to the kids, I'm like, where's the Starbucks? And they're like, oh, it's back in the science building. And they were helpful. And then I got my fix, but I'm standing there and I'm like feeling awkward because I'm like, everyone's looking at me like, because I obviously don't belong. I'm almost 40. All these kids
Yeah,
that are
maybe.
like,
There's people do like masters. I wonder, I guess they might think you're a prof or a TA or masters or PhD.
There could be that too. Yeah, there could be that.
Yeah.
But I'm like wearing my cat vest right now, so it's really, really warm. But I mean, it's also very like hipster. It's very hipster for Scarborough.
Yeah.
It fits. Everybody in Toronto loves it. Like I get compliments all the time. Sometimes multiple compliments. I get. Like Scarborough, it's still a hipster. But anyway, I grabbed my Starbucks and then I hit back onto the trail, and it's just good walking. And then I got back in time to watch anime with my buddy, and we're watching Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, which is a stupid name because it's there's no picking up of girls in a dungeon. It's fucking dumb. The name underneath it, which is like something familiar, makes a lot more sense. Like it's about families under gods, and they can level up with this dungeon. Really fucking good anime. So we just crushed a few episodes on that, but then I get anxious because I'm sitting. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go for a walk. So what's new for me, I'm just gonna keep going because why not?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I can relate to some of this. I'm looking for a good anime, and I also get anxious. And usually, walking is like a very good way to just feel a sense of accomplishment, purpose, and get rid of the anxiety.
Yeah, well, a lot of us just cope. We don't understand what's going on. We feel anxious or depressed, and we crush alcohol or do drugs or have sex or something to distract us or work, whatever, right? But when you take the time to actually listen to your organism and what your body is telling you, it's very simple. If you have like a cortisol release because of stress, or if you consume dinner, excess amounts of calorie, carbs, and you sit on your fucking ass, you have all of this sugar in your blood, cylinders are firing, and you're not doing anything. And so anxiety is like your body's way of saying, like, I gotta fucking do something. Like, get up and do something. Because our bodies our muscles are meant to be used. If we're gonna stuff our face, we should be doing some activity afterwards. So what I'm getting at is, like, I quit drinking because that's just pure poison. Pure poison. So I don't want to fucking touch it. It goes against all my goals. It messes up your sleep because most people want to crush alcohol just before bed, and it ruins your REM sleep. Excuse me. And it's not socially acceptable to drink during the day or in the morning, which is like when you probably should have it if you are going to have it, like for coffee or whatever. But you shouldn't have it, period, because it's, again, bad for your sleep, bad for your body. Nothing but poison at the end of the day. So I stopped doing that as a crutch, social crutch, life crutch. I don't use it to wind down or anything. And so I just realized a couple of days ago, I need to focus on my relationship with food. Because in the absence of alcohol, if I go to a social event and there's food, and now I eat food to distract myself. Or if I'm bored, I eat food. And I work out like a beast. Like, I'm doing the One Punch Man workout. Fucking 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. I'm not running 10K, but then I do a full strength workout and then I might run a little bit. And yet I got a pudgy belly. And that's cortisol and also just excess calories at the end of the day. Because in the evening, I'm bored or anxious, alone sometimes. And so I stuff my face. Now I have almonds and nuts, which are the worst snack to eat in those situations because you'll eat handfuls. I eat handfuls. I'll eat like 3,000 in a sitting, 3,000 calories in a sitting, because it takes time for your mind to catch up with your gut that you're satiated, because it's so calorie dense. At least that's how I see it, because like I eat them quick. I just eat them by the handfuls. And so I'm stopping it all. And I'm talking to my doctor about it. I'm like, this is the next thing. This is the main thing I want to focus on with CBT. I want to focus on my relationship with food. Because I had a good relationship with food until my grandmother force-fed me and pushed through my boundaries, not listening to me when I said I'm full. She kept making me eat. And then I became fat. And then when your fat cells reach a certain size, they double. Like, they basically split and they never go back. So you will accumulate fat cells, which will shrink, but they'll never just disappear unless you do an invasive procedure. I did a fat melt. There's also cool sculpting and liposuction. The fat melt apparently is the safest, but it was like I did it and it worked. And I had a flat midsection, but it was like an animal carving out my insides for like 30 minutes. And then I gained it all back because my relationship with food is bad. And so now I'm working on it and discussing it with my therapist. And it will be a topic every time we talk to remind me that it isn't a crutch. I'd rather just go thrift shopping and spend money and get new clothes that are cheap, that are cool, than put on weight, because it's been a lifelong goal for me to be a bodybuilder and for me to have a smooth, firm, flat midsection. So if I'm jiggly and I look in the mirror, it's going to discourage me from training. If I can see my muscles and see my gains, it's going to propel me forward. So it's in my best interest to not just train, but also to continue to eat well. And I eat amazing food, healthy food, organic, pasture raised, like antioxidants, great balance of fruits and vegetables, almost no junk, but it's excessive calories. And that just, no matter what you do, you could eat the best food in the world. If you eat too many calories, you're going to get fat, assuming the thyroid's okay.
Yeah, I could have something similar. I have a bit of extra weight and probably I get too many calories. They are like junk calories. I ate a lot of like candy and junk food
I
as
know you
snacks like
do.
here and there. Yeah.
You've been
And
doing
that's
that.
probably I don't work out or run like as much but as I used to, but now I have a decent like running every few days and going doing the gym, like doing abs and push-ups sit up at the gym. And but yeah, I think if I cut back on calories that would allow me to get more of like a chiseled again.
Yeah,
Uh,
you had legs like a fucking robot, man. Like you had machine piston legs, not tree trunks. Like fucking solid brick machine legs.
yeah,
You probably
legs
still
are
do.
easy, yeah, for me at least.
You probably still do. I've never seen
But
legs.
I guess
Like,
for me, like you're saying, more bodybuilder. Like I could never achieve, I don't think, like bodybuilder proportions because I don't think I could put on enough like mass to transfer to muscle. And also, I'm kind of glad about that because I think going like full bodybuilder can be kind of unhealthy as well. To to get muscles that are shaped like that, I think you to get that chiseled look, you actually have to be kind of like dehydrated or something, maybe.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
can kind of go too
They,
far. And then the minute you lose it, like all that muscle turns to fat if you lose it. So I feel like having toned is maybe more sustainable.
well, the muscle doesn't turn the fat, but the like shredded look is only so sustainable. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you need to have fat. But yeah, they lube up and they shred it all before a show or a competition, and it doesn't really take them that much. Like I actually knew a bodybuilder, and he would just hit the treadmill a little bit because he had so much muscle, and the muscle requires like every pound of muscle requires 50 calories to maintain. And so he didn't have to do much to shred because he had so much muscle to begin with. The main concern is though is the more mass that you have, the more it has to be fed by your blood, which means your heart has to pump harder. So yes, cardio is good for your heart, training is good for your body, but if you take it to an extreme, I can see there being risk. Now, I'm kind of talking to my ass because I don't have any studies to quote for it, but I have heard of bodybuilders dropping dead. Now, I
Oh
haven't
yeah.
like looked into why. There's assumptions like they're taking too much caffeine pre-workout, or pushing too hard, too much stress. But I do see that too much mass, carrying too much weight. I don't see how that could be good for your joints. I don't see how it can be good for your heart, carrying that much extra mass.
Yeah.
Because weight is weight. If you're obese or muscular, the more muscle mass that you have, the more you have to carry, the more you have to fuel it. So I think there's a spot that I want to get to where I look jacked, but I'm not like Jay Cutler where I can't fit in any t-shirt.
Right.
Like I don't need to look like Arnold to be happy. It's not the
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah. Getting like a good like working fitness or like everyday fitness, I think is the ideal, just to have control, like good flexibility, range of motion, strength, but not excessive where you need to like spend all your time maintaining it.
Yeah, well, like mobility, flexibility, those are super important categories of fitness beyond strength. So there's strength, pump and iron, and then there's flexibility, mobility, which is a separate thing that's often neglected, but it's a super important component of a healthy body.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like why I'll do a strength training session and then I'll jog, because for most people, I guess they would do a jog as a warm up, but I do a jog to kind of limber everything up. Because if I just train my legs, if I do 100 squats and then I do a leg session, if I jog afterwards, I'm kind of like moving everything. And I'm also moving my shoulders too. Like when you think about it, right? When you're jogging, you're moving your arms, you're moving your shoulders. And that's
Yeah.
important to keep things lubricated.
Yeah,
So
and get
anyway,
like a good like heart rate and blood movement and stuff. Yeah.
well, there's no blood that goes to your joints. It's all the fluid that's produced when you move your joints. That's what nourishes the joints is the actual movement. Because again, there's no blood vessels that actually reach that area. So if you're dormant, if you're not doing anything, and your joints hurt, and you have arthritis, and yada yada yada, it's probably because you're stagnant. Yes, arthritis is inflammation, so it could also be like a poor microbiome. You're eating inflammatory foods because most people that aren't aware, they're consuming industrial oils, canola oil, sunflower seed oil, vegetable oil. My family, like, I could tell them eat avocado oil, they'll still buy vegetable oil because it's cheaper because they don't have a lot of money. And so for the masses, the cheaper products are often the worst for them. And so they consume these products and then they have inflammatory issues from them. And then they don't want to move because they have arthritis and they get sick. Oh, it's a perfect system, man. Like to incapacitate people and to profit off their suffering. The wind's really picking up here.
Yeah, most of the wind seems to be getting cut out by Discord, so that's good.
Yeah, I got a good headset too, so maybe that's helping.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still using my typical microphone, like this Yeti Y that I have. But I recently picked up what I think is like a better audio microphone system that I haven't really tested out fully yet. But it's more of like, it's kind of the conventional microphone see people use on a stage where it's got like a black like handhold and then a silver like metallic ball on the end. And this one's called the SM58 from Shure. And it's kind of interesting how it sets up because the microphone itself, if you plug the microphone directly into the computer, it doesn't have enough power from USB to actually like input like a signal into the computer. So you have to buy what's called like an audio interface that will supply like additional power and amplify the signal on its way to the computer.
Oh yeah,
And I was thinking it's interesting. Yeah, it was weird because I thought at first, like, why don't they just make it like a USB microphone? But I think actually extra power is like a critical part of the microphone itself being like you have to, I guess it takes like stronger input into the microphone or, I mean, I guess like every sound is still hitting that microphone, but the signal is so much lower that you don't get like as much background noise just as like a physical thing. Like the lower like the less like reduced like sensitivity of the input of the microphone just naturally like cuts out background noise, and then you have to amplify the signal later using like an additional box. But I think that actually cuts out a lot more background noise than I think USB microphones have to be like more sensitive to pick up, or, like because they have lower power that they're working with. So I'm kind of interested to see that whole system. But it is kind of annoying. Like I'll probably only set it up for like special occasions where I'm like trying to record like a song or something that's like really clean, because it's annoying setting up like another additional box. I have to always take all the cables. Like whenever I leave my computer, I take all the cables off the desk because my cat will chew them. So I can't like set things up and leave them on my desk. I have to like set them up every time.
Yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah.
Well, I just got a $120 sport headset from Costco, and it outperforms the iPod Maxes like in every way except noise canceling, because there's no noise canceling. But it's like a skull reverb kind of technology, and it doesn't go in your ears too, so it's better for you.
Does it have like what's the microphone? Like the microphone is built in or something?
Yeah, built in. Don't know which side it's on. Maybe it's both sides, but it works. Good
Is
battery
that
life.
like a bone, so like a bone conduction sort of style?
That's what I'm. Yeah, bone conduction.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, and then
Yeah, that's what I
sometimes.
use. Yeah. I pretty much always use bone conduction headphones that I have are the main thing that I use like all the time pretty much.
Yeah,
I
there you
just
go.
yeah, my ears were like sweating too much and getting kind of feeling like they were just not doing very well. So the bone conduction just lets them breathe much easier.
Yep, and they don't fall out of your ears either when you're doing push-ups, which is I find an annoying thing I
Yeah.
have to deal with the Pro 2s, the iPod Pro
Oh, yeah.
2s. I don't know. I mean, I think the iPods are just not worth it. They're not worth the money. They could be
Yeah,
doing a
they
lot.
are.
You could have better
Yeah.
tech than that.
Oh, I
But
got like also I bought some like over ear like headphones that are wired because if I'm listening to a beat and trying to record in time with it, I actually need like a wired headset so that there isn't like a delay. Because if you
yeah,
use Bluetooth headphones, yeah, that's another thing that I was happy to get, where now I can like listen to a beat and not have it like bleed it all into the microphone and uh, yeah.
so, but circling back to what I was saying, it's like focusing on my relationship with food. That's a big one, and there's a lot of people that suffer from food relationship issues, whether it be bulimia or anorexia or binge eating, whatever. Like it's been basically my entire life, and to be consumed by that and obtaining your ideal weight, not because society says that you need to be that weight, but because you just feel more confident in your organism by having that weight. That's the most important thing. And yet, when you don't have control of your environment, when you have to deal with stress, and it comes out of nowhere sometimes, like you're fine for like a week or two or three or even a month, and you start to lose weight, and then boom, life hits you, and you're just like, rah, 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 you're just eating all the food that you can possibly eat, rah, rah, rah. And then you're fucking 300 pounds again. So it's like, and then you have a couple good months, and then you might lose some weight, and then life hits you, and then you gorge, and you're fucked again. It's annoying. So I'm trying to like deal with the root cause, and then maybe when that's done, maybe I'll go back for another animal clawing of the midsection. It's also very pricey. I think it was like 3K, but it worked. It actually worked. It eliminated all fat on the midsection. It's pretty incredible, and it
Those
didn't
kind of
deform.
things are interesting. Yeah, that's I think that's lucky that it didn't deform you because I feel like that could be an easy side effect.
Well,
Uh, for me, I'm always curious about like anything that's like a very painful thing. I'm very interested in like I wonder to myself like could I tolerate that? And I don't have any reason to go do that kind of therapy, but I sometimes I feel like if I could just if they could just go like you could go to a place, pay them a small fee, they let you like experience that amount of pain. It's just kind of it's interesting to me because it's sort of like overcoming any sort of fear or mental challenge. It would be interesting like a place could they could almost offer like training in that like give you higher and higher doses of something and train you to like just kind of tolerate physical pain or something.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, nothing really. There's no way to kind of do that yet without like a physical, like like this kind of thing we're talking about. It would actually burn cells and not be healthy to do if you're just doing it for like the pain itself. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
it's like
guess yeah,
cauterizing your midsection for 30 minutes, and it
yeah,
just gets worse. It doesn't get any better. It's not like you do it for 3 seconds and then you take the hot iron off of the fucking area.
really.
It is the most excruciating thing I've ever experienced, and I don't want to do it again. But if I actually perfect my relationship with food and I stop using it as a crutch, I think it would be. I think it's appropriate because again, what I said, your fat cells do split And it will always be difficult to try to keep that trim look if you have too many fat cells, because they're just going to expand if you have too many calories for a couple days. And sometimes we gorge ourselves for fun, not because of stress, but because we're doing social activity after social activity, and you might lose track of how many calories you have. But no, I'm going to be going into social activities with like a game planning and have food first, not snack while I'm there. Just drink tea. I guess I'm going to be like the Mad Hatter or something, and I fucking bring a cabinet of tea and I make people tea, and that's my thing. But not the microplastic fucking tea, like loose leaf, high quality, proper temperature tea. And then people will come to me and it's an instant icebreaker. Hey, you want some tea? Fucking, then we talk. It's easy.
And what?
But
Yeah, like tea's healthy. So what are you saying you'll do? Like, who will you be inviting to these like tea things?
yeah, if I show up somewhere, I just bring like my little cabinet of loose leaf tea, and most people have a kettle in their place. And then I make the temperature correct for the type of tea that I'm having. And if someone wants some tea, then I have like those metal cup thingies,
Yeah.
or like little balls, and then
Oh
I
yeah.
put the fucking tea in and pop it into the host's cup, and here you go. I'm the Mad Hatter, feeding people healthy beverages instead of
Yeah.
soda pop and fucking alcohol, and that can be my thing, and I can just enjoy tea while I'm out instead of gorging and drinking booze,
Yeah.
which I don't do. So because like social is, we like to be social, but a lot of people want to be social in the evening. And I was saying to my buddy that before this call, I was like, I want to do physical activities. I want to go out and I want to play sports. I want to play basketball, lacrosse, pickleball. I want to go on hikes. But it seems like a lot of stuff in Toronto, it's just people coming together, eating food, drinking booze, listening to DJs, and wearing stupid outfits, wasting money to buy, consume more and more for the next fancy outfit. And I guess they do it because they like the praise or they like expressing themselves, but very much not my scene. But I show up to support my partner because that's her scene. Mine is like, I want to get up and do stuff. So like I did something with her this weekend, really cool rooftop thing. I mean, it's honestly enviable. Like, it's, if you're in the area and you like see these people go on top of a roof to have a fucking party that's like exclusive, like you're like, whoa, that's some. And like I have access to these things, but probably through after a few conversations, good conversations, mind you, I was like, I'm getting anxious. So I was just like, let's for a walk. Said to my partner, I was like, Jordan, you know, he was gone. I don't. I don't find
Your voice cut out there in the last like 30 seconds. Your voice cut out a bit there, but you were saying,
okay.
Yeah.
Basically, I went for a walk. Anxiety was gone, and everything was good. But like in the end, like that's not my scene. That's not what brings me joy. Cool seeing people, but I really don't give a shit. I want to do activities.
Right.
Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Because there's a train going by.
That's something I could relate to. Yeah, like you're sort of saying, like being in a place with people, like hanging out, can be a bit like taxing and anxiety inducing sometimes. Like when it feels like at least for me, sometimes I'll be with a group of people. I always feel like we should be quote unquote accomplishing something, given the like if there's a great gathering of people that are talented, it's like we should be doing something or accomplishing something. And sometimes it just feels like just talking is not getting anywhere, like anywhere deep or something.
Yeah, because like I'm unplugged from the matrix. I'm technically retired, and so a lot of people just want to talk about work. Interesting with the Burning Man community, not so much. That's not their default topic. A lot of them are doing art and expressing themselves, but I really don't care about other people's art. If I stumble upon a nice art piece and I enjoy it, then that's great. But I don't need to hear about the artist's story unless I like the piece. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like it's
Yeah, I feel it's like the piece can speak for itself and sort of pique the interest. And
yeah,
then you already have a conversation like almost like pre-started when you if you meet the artist, you already feel like you can kind of relate in some way.
yeah. A lot of them too do installations that are very impressive in the city, and I guess it's just a really special group that can come together and chill. But it's again not what I want to do. Happy to do the physical activities with those talented people, but they just seem to want to chill and drink because maybe that's just what they're used to.
Yeah.
But you know, I do hear that some of them like going on ski trips, so I got to find like these smaller micro groups and join in on that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, man, this is just it's being real with what you want and honoring that because the environment ultimately shapes our habits. And if we're not truly happy in an environment that we're putting ourselves into, then maybe we're going to reach for food or alcohol to soothe our nerves, you know? So why just control your environment as best you can? Why settle for something different? You have to force yourself to endure. Life is too short to force yourself to do things. I had to do it for most of my life, and now I don't need to, so why would I elect to do so? I guess this is freedom to be able to pick and choose what you want to do. Unfortunately, doing nothing is only an option for so long before your programming kicks in and starts demanding that you're social and that you get out there, that you have meaningful connection because we're social creatures. And there's no undoing that programming if it's in you.
Yeah.
And I say that piece because again, not everybody falls in the everybody. It's like a palabra. Most people fit within the bell curve, and then there's people who lie on either side that are anomalies, like sociopathic killers. But most people need social connection. You can only be alone for so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, that definitely is true. Yeah, that's something that I find like you mentioned the ski trip thing. I feel like my instinct would be like you can find those people that do the ski trip, but when they go on the ski trip, like they'll ski and they'll talk about skiing and then they'll go like hang out and drink somewhere. And it's like once again the same issue of it's like, well, we did skiing, let's do another thing that counts and drives things forward and develops something. But then it always devolves into like just sort of like a hanging out, drinking, not doing anything too serious, like outside of the main activity. But for me, it's like let's like we finish skiing, let's build on something. Let's like reflect on what it means to ski or put things together. Like it just always feels like if I'm around people, there's something more to be gained than almost like everybody dragging each other down to like some kind of average. Uh, but it's kind of, I guess it's like it's unfair to like sort of assume that's what it would be. Uh, I find sometimes like people kind of surprise me, like something very interesting all of a sudden will happen, but nobody will be like this thing that we just did. We should always do this instead of just chilling or relaxing. Like they don't. They don't differentiate between like a very important thing that's done that's amazing and just sitting around chilling. It's almost like it's the same to them.
Yeah, I find like there's like this sort of the default for a lot of groups that do the activity, and then if they're taking a break or they'll do some sort of like drug or they'll consume some sort of some sort of substance, or if they're gonna have a meal, then they'll order some food, may not be the healthiest food, and kind of devolves into that. And like for me, what I'd like to do is say I go skiing and I stop for some like healthy hot chocolate, which is like collagen protein with mushroom, sugar-free coconut powder, and then I can go back out. I come back and I'll read a book by a fireplace and kind of warm up and go back out. And in the evening, have a nice meal. But it doesn't mean that we have to go fucking drinking or anything. Like, have a meal with the group, and then we're tired. It doesn't have to go off. It doesn't have to be a night of drinking. You don't have to do that. It's people like to do it, but you don't have to do it. Because if you were actually skiing with other people and having a good time, that should be enough. I wouldn't be able to do that the entire day and then the evening. I'd be like, nah, I want my own time.
Right.
And maybe there's a couple people like me who play a game of cards, maybe with one other person play a game of chess, and that's it. But it's like changing this whole like, oh, we have to drink. We need to go and have booze, and there's this sort of like this social expectation that everybody drinks when they come together. It's a societal expectation almost. I mean, it was a cultural thing in the military. You go to the mess and you drink. It's a drinking culture. Maybe you mean you don't want to fucking drink. You're in the mess. Cheap beer, drink. Terrible for your health.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to
definitely.
be.
I feel like I never went to the mess, never drank, and therefore was kind of like self-selected out of a lot of socialization and a lot of bonding and stuff. So that sort of made me feel like there was no avenue where I could make friends and stuff without making just kind of like the drinking friends. And so then it felt kind of isolating and wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah, out of all the friends that I've made going to the mess, I don't talk to any of them. The friends that I have are from, over time, one-on-one interactions, hanging out, having food together in restaurants or doing activities. Like, it's not from the mess. No friendship I've made from the mess has lasted. They don't fucking matter. They really don't. Yeah, I'm about to head back inside for a second. And I'm gonna head to my quarters, so I'll be making some noise. But it was a good walk. It's exactly what I needed.
The temperature where you are these days?
It's chilly. I gotta wear my vest.
Yeah.
But not like winter cold.
Yeah. It's been weird here. Sometimes it's like very hot all of a sudden here, and then it'll be cool. It'll be like sweater, like kind of chilly sweater weather, and then just all of a sudden like very hot.
Yeah, I mean, like yesterday was super hot. Today's kind of cold. Just the fall for you, man. There we go. Back into my chamber. Yeah, I'm heading back to Toronto tomorrow. I've had my fill of Scarborough, even though I found that nice trail. I don't know. I get bored of areas.
Yeah. Do you fly, I guess?
No, I drive.
Oh, yeah.
Scarborough, Toronto are pretty close. Traffic is a
right.
bit crazy, but you have to time it. If you go during rush hour, which is like late afternoon until fucking ever, then you're gonna be in some traffic. And if you time it just like before the morning rush hour and lunchtime, it's not as bad. So that's my plan of attack tomorrow. Go to the gym and then just peel out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple times there's like public transit here. If you take public transit during rush hour, it's like packed full. And I've only done that once by accident, and it's pretty crazy.
Doesn't sound like a good time.
Yeah, it's pretty jarring. Usually it's pretty empty. So to see it like completely packed, like shoulder to shoulder, it's sort of like, oh yeah, I guess there are bad times to get on this thing.
It's when all the slaves are released to return back home.
The great migration.
Yeah, 9 to 5, right? Everybody's sort of imprisoned for that time, and then they're released around a certain time. So it's I try to avoid exit time as much as possible. Like I find
Yeah.
that being retired now, I've noticed kind of like there's a lot of stay-at-home workers or wives, and they like to go to Costco Monday. So Sunday's bad for Costco. Monday is also bad for Costco, but Tuesday isn't that bad.
Hmm.
But yeah, like some people take longer weekends, and it gets pretty crazy on Monday. It doesn't matter when you go.
Wish Costco had like a walking entrance that's like a tunnel. Like you walk through a tunnel and you get into it like underneath. And then when you leave, you just like pack everything into a bag and you like drop below the parking lot and you get to like walk out of like a tunnel that goes under all the roads until you're like far enough away that you've skipped the whole like walking, behind and between cars on the way in, like the entrance is just heavily guarded by cars and shopping carts. It would be nice to have like a walk-in entrance that's protected.
I don't know which Costco that is.
Or like
Most of them,
most of them, right? Or like how do you like don't you find there's a like it would be nice to have like a peaceful like an adjacent park and then you're like sitting on a bench near a fountain in a park and then like you can like sort of walk into the entrance instead of like the entrance of those places are always like a flurry of like carts and everything and then
yeah,
surrounded by like the cars and all that. Yeah.
yeah. I think they're all like that. I'm not aware of anything different
Yeah.
than that. It's always a shit show. There's a different culture in Costco. But there's some people that take it a little too far where like they're just completely oblivious. Like they will put their cart and block the entire aisle. Like not just like in the middle, but like have it where it's lengthwise and completely blocking the aisle. And it's like I'm like, just get the fuck out of the way. Like, what are you doing? Like there's blocking it in the middle where I have to kind of like inconveniently move around. That's acceptable. That's Costco acceptable. But when you fucking block the entire thing because you put your cart perpendicular, you're just a fucking idiot. And I'm gonna call you an idiot. Like, get the fuck out of the way, you stupid shithead. No, like that's pushing it.
Yeah.
Like if it's too Costco for Costco with the culture, it's like you don't know what you're doing. You're just acting like an idiot. Like you are completely oblivious to your surroundings. And some people will block the entire like artery, which is like the main traffic area that then like leads to all the aisles. They'll block the artery, like have a full out conversation and block them. Like get out of the fucking way. Don't have your conversation in the middle of the fucking artery. I don't care if they don't like it. It's like you guys are fucking dumb. But no, it's really cutthroat in there.
Yeah.
It's perfectly acceptable. Like I don't mind people almost colliding with me and hitting my card and running into me. It's like it's perfectly acceptable. It's like yeah, you're in Costco.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. I guess there's those people I notice, like even just walking on the sidewalk. There's people that walk too slow or in the middle, or uh, something I notice is like two people will be walking side by side, and if someone walks towards them, like they obviously see the person coming towards them, so they go single file, but they'll be like completely oblivious to like people walking up behind them, and that it makes intuitive sense. Like they can't see behind them as easily as in front. But to me, it would be nice if people had like 360-degree awareness where like they're obviously aware people are coming towards them and they move because it would be weird if they didn't, but they have no awareness at all for people coming up behind them. But it should be like intuitive to them that like people are coming from both directions and you're blocking people towards you and you acknowledge that, but then they just stay like side by side, unable to like go single file when someone comes up behind them. And it's just sort of like there shouldn't be a difference except for they have eyes in the front of their head. That's the only difference.
Look, I get that they can't see what's behind them, and that's fine. Like I'll be, hey, coming up on your left. But rarely do I walk faster than other people. Come on, me.
Oh yeah.
I've gotten in fights with my partner because I walk so slow, and she's like a mile ahead. I'm like, I thought you wanted to walk with me. Why are you such an impatient horse, like, because impatient horses go ahead of you. And it's like, why are we walking together if you're not going to walk with me? And like, I have like the argument with her often where it's like, what the fuck are you doing? And so I don't have the issue of being too fast for other people, but like sometimes people will walk towards me and like side by side and not move out of my way. And I'm clearly bigger than they are. And I'm not going to walk on the road because they're being, if it's an old lady or, a lady with a carriage or with a dog, like I might get out of the way for a dog. But I also might be like, walk to the dog to then like maybe greet the dog because the dog is right in my path. And so if the owner isn't going to try to pull a dog away, well, then I guess the dog is friendly and I can engage with it. But there are people who are fully aware of their surroundings who are just walking straight into me. And it never pans out well for them because they will fucking collide with me and I'll be unfazed and be like, watch where you're going.
Yeah.
Share the sidewalk. Like, I shouldn't have to move out of your way when you're 5 foot nothing. Like, I'm gonna like move my shoulder if you're gonna move your shoulder, but if you're not gonna make any effort and you guys are gonna hog the whole sidewalk, yeah, you're damn right I'm gonna plow you over, you fucking.
It is kind of crazy. Like I feel like I do so many acrobatics to like make up for the fact that other people just don't think to move. Like I have to protect so many people around me by like be having the forethought. And yeah, it is like if I let down my guard once, a lot of people just get hit and it's like they don't have any ability to protect themselves.
Now they learn. And a lot of people are like looking at their phone when they're walking. And so again, it's their own fault at the end of the day. Just like pay attention to where you're walking. It's not that hard. We shouldn't have to have these conversations with people.
Apparently, there used to be bigger sidewalks. There used to be like 10-foot or like 20-foot sidewalks and like one row of cars. I think in most cities, when they added like the second car lane, they just cut into the sidewalk. And now we have these very like 2-person, 1-person sidewalks. But it would be pretty cool. It would be pretty like freeing to have sidewalks that are like 5, 6 people wide and just more ability to stand around and I feel like that would be more calm. It wouldn't be like rushing to pass someone before they block you or rushing across the street or something.
I would expect that like in a city where there's like lots of foot traffic. I'd rather, that's great, but I would rather bike lanes because I think having to share the road with cars is stupid when, we want to encourage people to not drive their car into the city. So like, let's have bike lanes. It's pretty obvious and it's super important and yet.
Yeah, because we kind of have like bad, like just painted on bike lanes and a lot of bikes and motorized like electric scooters are just like on the sidewalk. There's a thing now where like DoorDash people on like sometimes motorized or electric like full-size motorcycles, they kind of just like go wherever, like onto the sidewalk or whatever. And it's kind of like they have to park at the entrance or they have to deliver the food or whatever. But it basically makes a situation where you can never be safe from getting hit by a vehicle at any point, even if you're on like a clear sidewalk with like metal barriers, like some scooter will like whip through there or something.
Yeah, that's clearly like needs to be. Yeah. It's not already illegal. It should be illegal.
But that's what they like. That's what a bike lane would also solve is like you could have the car lane, the bike lane, and the sidewalk, and then kind of you'd then be able to say no bikes on the sidewalk because there is a better lane for it. But right now, like the sidewalk is the bike place also, and yeah.
Well, I don't see it too much in Toronto. I see them in the bike lane, which is where if you have a fast enough vehicle, you should be on the road, frankly. If you need to wear a helmet, I mean, it's a legal thing in BC, but you don't have to wear a helmet if you ride a bicycle. You should, though. You should protect your melon. But like some of them are going so fast, they need a full faced chin protecting and everything, like almost like a motorcycle helmet that's fully protective. Yeah.
Right.
If they need
Yeah.
that because they're going so fast, then they need to be on the road. They don't belong in a bike lane.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that like bike lanes are important, and Ford, was going to cut them. I don't know if he still is, in Toronto, which is a bit silly, which I
Yeah.
think he's an idiot for. But then on the other hand, he's like, speed cameras are just a cash grab, and they're stupid, and I don't want them anymore. And so like 20 mayors like signed a letter to like have him keep the speed cameras, and he's like,
Right.
yeah, the answer is no, we're not keeping them. So I actually appreciate that because it's true, they are just a cash grab. There's better ways to incentivize people to slow down.
Hmm.
One of the Nordic countries, I don't know if it's Switzerland or whatever, they have a lottery. So if you are good and you go to speed limit, your name gets entered into the lottery. And if you are going too fast, then you are fined, and what you're fined gets put into the pot.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it's not for the city. It's to incentivize people to drive the speed limit. And yes, it works. It actually works. So people
That's neat.
speeding by, number of tickets have gone down, which means the pot's smaller. But you're incentivizing people instead of just you know being punitive and just finding them. I have like $800 in parking tickets in Toronto. No other city I've been through has ever given me that many parking tickets. And it's for crazy shit that's like, you can't park here. Okay, there's no sign saying I can't park here. Oh, well, it's in the bylaws that you just can't park here. Or, you are too close to the corner. You have to be 15 meters away from the corner. Like, what? In what
Hmm.
fucking world? You have to be 15 meters away from such a quiet intersection. It's like it's a three-way
Hmm.
intersection. Why do I need to be 15 meters away from like that kind of shit? And it's just like one surprise after another. Oh, here's another bylaw you didn't know that you can't find. Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
is.
it's
I guess they should add the ability of a car to detect if it's allowed to park somewhere or not. Like there should be some kind of thing you like getting out of the car. One should just know somehow. Like some system should tell them rather than them having to like memorize things they'd never have seen.
yeah. Or warn them instead of just giving me an $80 fine, 65 to $80 fine. In Ottawa, man, they're like 120. The nation's capital is the most punitive, and they should just give a warning, educate people instead of assuming that everyone's malicious and trying to break the law. Warn them because they have their license plate, and if the same issue comes up, then fine me. But the fine shouldn't be that much. It should be like $40. $40 is reasonable, or like
Yeah,
minimum
I
wage
guess.
time.
Yeah. Well, it should be a percentage of I think the individual's value because no matter if it's a fixed price, there's some class of people that can just kind of ignore it, and then they get to park wherever. I guess.
Yeah, it's the inconvenience though, having to pay the ticket and everything else. So there's a time factor too, right? So
Mm.
I would say, keep it low enough to like the stings will add up if you are rich, and also the administration is annoying. And it's like it's damaging enough for someone who doesn't have a lot of money where it's like, oh, that hurt, but it's not crippling me. Can you imagine like a fucking $80 parking ticket for someone that can barely afford food? Like, what are you
Yeah,
gonna
that's
do?
what
You're
I.
gonna
Yeah, yeah. It's like
you're gonna
very punishing for them, and then not very punishing for others. Yeah.
right. So lower it, and then it's just administratively annoying to have to go online and fight it and to pay for it. I mean, it just the annoyance is enough to deter me from repeating the infraction. I'm bitter that they're not like taking the opportunity to educate me, but like I'm not gonna deliberately try to repeat what it is I'm doing. Like I'm not gonna deliberately try to break the law. But they're not. They should be taking should be educating people. And it's just all Toronto's a money grab at the end of the day. So call it for what it is, and the mayor is responsible for that. Even if he isn't the one directly orchestrating things, he is ultimately the figurehead, the leader. So he's the one responsible, in my mind.
Yeah. The other thing about the cameras is like a surveillance thing too. I've heard that like there's a lot of speeding license plates cameras in the States. Since everyone drives everywhere, there's actually a network where like the cops can use it and stuff. Like if they're searching for someone, they can just look up that person's license plate, and this entire like nationwide network of security cameras and speeding cameras can like basically tell you where that person is with fairly good accuracy. And people say that it's not really intended for that, right? It's supposed to like do whatever, like each camera has some kind of purpose, but if you stitch them all together, suddenly you have this like person tracking ability that kind of infringes people's rights in a way that was not originally intended, but now everyone is just tracked everywhere they go, and that's just like that grows out of the use of cameras and stuff to monitor different little tickets and stuff.
I support it. I don't believe that we should be like monitored at all times, but if we need to be brought in, face justice, there's no better way to we're going to be limited by our ability to travel. So yeah, there's the use of the credit card and stuff, which is also traceable. So you can't use your credit card and you can't drive your car. You are immobilized to a certain radius, and that allows law enforcement to catch people as long as it's not being abused, and
Yeah.
it is a siloed system and like protected, and it's only used for legal reasons.
Yeah. if they could limit it, but it does, as far as I can tell, it's like widely abused, and many like, private companies can like buy and collect the data and sell the data. So they really they need to have some kind of like way to limit the use first. Because yeah, as soon as they'll build the system with some assurances of what it's going to be used for, but it will never they'll never like respect that long term unless there's some real. So I think that's why it's like safer to not give them the capability. But yeah, if they could find out some way to just fairly use it, but the more time goes on, it becomes like hard to understand if there is a fair way to like if we have complete data, can you really administer fairly? I'll have to head out actually.
Yeah, I'll backtrack and say,
Yeah,
in an ideal world where it could be safeguarded and used to enforce justice in a legal and fair way, then absolutely. But in reality, no, it's going to be used. You're right. In the wrong way, and so it shouldn't exist because we can't trust people to use it in the way that is safe. Anyway, you got to go, and thanks for the chat, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.